Hi, my name is Megan Jameson, and for my video reflection this week, I'll be talking about wikis and social networking sites and sites that I think work really well in a classroom and things that maybe don't work so well. Um, First off, wikis are websites that can be edited by anybody, and I don't think they're 100% reliable, especially when it comes to doing research. They're a good baseline to try and find certain subjects, and then going from there, I think you should use more professional sites. And I think that should be taught really early in elementary schools because it helps provide a solid foundation for when they do move on to middle school and high school. Um, but I think wikis are a good baseline. Just because anybody can edit them, I think that sometimes the facts are unreliable, especially when it comes to science and history facts, that other people may have been taught different things, and so they're not quite the most reliable. Another thing that I don't think is super reliable is some social networking. I think social networking between teachers is something that is really beneficial, but I don't think the students should be involved in it as much. I know from school to parent or even like teacher to teacher, I think Facebook is a really good tool to share lesson plans with and like put videos up. And from school to parent, it's a great way for the school to advertise activities for the children, but especially in like elementary school, I think the parents should be more involved, so maybe they should be the ones following the Facebook page. But in terms of that, I think Facebook's really beneficial. But in terms of like teacher to student, I don't think there's any place for Facebook in a classroom. I think it's distracting and that there's content on there that can't really be monitored, and I don't think it's a good place for students to be while they're in a classroom. Snapchat, I think, is definitely not useful in a classroom. I would 100% be against it in my own classroom, only because there are lots of different things that can go around on Snapchat, and I don't think that it's beneficial to the teacher or to the students. I think it's more of a distraction. And then I think that Instagram can be somewhat helpful. Instagram is more like Facebook, where it's from the school to the parent that I think it's useful, or even sometimes in like older schools, like high schools and stuff, I think that Instagram can be used from school to student at that point. And that's because most students have an Instagram and they'll follow an Instagram page like for their school, and that will send out like spirit weeks or when the next football games are or what kind of spirit day that is for that football game. And I know personally for my high school, we used a Twitter. So they had a Twitter page and they tweeted out whatever they needed us to know. But I think I think Instagram can work the same way. So I think those are really beneficial. I don't think blogging is super beneficial in terms of classroom resources, only because it's very opinionated and sometimes can be one-sided. So I don't think that's an awesome resource, but it's a good baseline to find out different people's opinions and try and see both sides of a story. And I think TED Talks and Khan Academy, in terms of Web 2.0 products, are huge. I have used Khan Academy in more math classes than I can count, and I think that that's an awesome resource for students to use in the classroom and for teachers to use if maybe their method isn't working, looking at Khan Academy and saying, okay, here's this method, try this, see if it works, and then maybe a student gets a different method. And then TED Talks in terms of different types of videos talking about different pieces of literature, poetry, motivational speeches, whatever it is. I think TED Talks are super beneficial, and I've watched plenty of them throughout my schooling, and they're a very good resource. Overall, I think Web 2.0 is a great resource, and I think the internet is something that is going to be integrated much more into classrooms, especially now that classes are starting to go more to the technological side of things. So, yeah, that's my video reflection for the week. Thank you.